It's a pre-Thanksgiving treat here in the ACC. Big Four rivalry, Duke and Wake Forest meet for the 83rd time, and balloons are in the building, which means we're having a blast. Here in Winston-Salem, Duke and Wake Forest want to close out the year strong, final week of the regular season, and we're off and running with Feast Week here in college volleyball. Thanks for joining us here in Reynolds Coliseum with Amanda Poole. I'm Evan Budrovich. So Wake's played great volleyball, wins in 3 of 4. Duke looking for a strong finish. How do these programs end the year in the right way?
Well, there's still wins on the table, right? Both teams just wanting to play their best volleyball to close out the regular season. And talking with head coach Jeff Husmeyer for Wake Forest, he said that this program, he wants to be about winning, and they have a chance to do that to close out the regular season.
Duke, meanwhile, led by underclassmen, but Ashby Zubcevic leads the charge. What does she do well offensively?
A little bit of everything. Evan sitting top 15 in the ACC in kills per set. Her production just so important for Duke as she grows. She had a season-high 21 kills against Wake Forest back in September. A performance head coach Jolene Nagel will welcome, as the freshman will have to work around some high hands today. But for Wake Forest, it is senior outside Paige Crawford, the backbone of this Demon Deacons team, not only leading the team in kills 14 times this season, but also an elite passer and leader for Wake Forest. A centerpiece for the Deeks, not only with her stats, but the intangibles. Coach Husmeyer saying her consistency and level-headed approach is unmatched.
Wake Forest led by its veterans in this final home week, and Paige Crawford, one of the best in program history. Look at the modern numbers in terms of kills, aces. Paige has meant so much to Wake the last 4 years.
Just taking on a bigger load too, right? You got under a first-year head coach with Jeff Husmeyer, and now being able to step in that role and continue to lead the team. She is rock solid for the Demon Deacons.
And her running mate is one of the best defensive players in Wake history. Emma Farrell now up to 3rd in career digs. These are 2 stalwart legends here at Wake Forest.
Yeah, Emma Farrell covers everything, right? And that's something that she's a libero that's on everybody's scouting reports. That's how good she is. You have to get away from her. Wake Forest will have to have a couple people to fill those shoes.
Wake, a signature win in Durham earlier this year, and a service error opens set 1 here in Winston-Salem.
That has been a storyline for Duke. Blue Devils trying to serve aggressive. They want to get quick points like that, get teams out of system, but you get that downfall when you pick up some errors.
There's Emma Farrell, the stalwart back row player. She had 22 digs in that first matchup. There's a kill for Duke on the right side early. Olivia Wayne, the freshman who's come on the last 3 weeks, very impressive here for Duke.
Yeah, recently gaining confidence, right? Coach Jolene Nagel telling us this week that Olivia Wayne has had some self-doubt this season, has pushed through that and getting more comfortable and more aggressive, as you see early on.
The Dallas, Texas native with her first point. There's a tough overpass that gets freed from Charlotte Glass, the one setter in this Duke attack. White Kettle is roofed. Good hands. That's Taylor Williams, the sophomore outside.
Williams, known for her offensive presence, but able to come up with a big block there against a powerful arm in White Kettle.
An early challenge from Jeff Husmeyer, the first-year coach at Wake, who, with this final week, Amanda, has an opportunity. It'd be the first time in 15 years Wake had a 500 or better record in the league. There's a lot on the line here for Wake Forest.
And he's already done so much with this group as well, as far as those milestones. Earlier this year, they won 3 true road matches for the first time since 2010. They also were able to beat Duke at Cameron for the first time since 2012. So they're already taking these steps in the right direction, watching that evolution.
Keeping an eye on the challenger of the setter of Duke.
Charlotte Glass.
And from the back row, if her hand goes over the tape or over the top of the net, that would be a back row play. So here's the ruling from D. Batchelor. It is a Wake point. That call's overturned. Oh, hold on. Nope, just kidding. It is Duke's
She
point.
faked us out.
D explaining to Coach Husmeyer, first year here at Wake. You see that there, you lose the challenge, just 1 remaining. If this match were to go 5, each team gets a challenge. It was a 4-set win for Wake and Durham back in the first week of the conference at the end of September. And now some more questions for D. Batchelor.
I wonder if they're questioning if that ball ever crossed the plane on top of that net, because that also, Charlotte Glass can't reach over.
Now our lead referee, Kevin Wendelby, talking to D. But there's one thing about Jeff Holzmeier, he will vouch for the right call. He's had multiple 10-minute plus reviews this year. I don't know if there's a stat on that, but he is known to check every iteration of the book. He's fighting for his players. And he's facing a legendary coach, four-time ACC champ and Jolene Nagel, 27 years and counting. It's been a down year record-wise, but you couldn't tell by the resolve of this Duke team.
Yeah, Coach Nagel is speaking so highly of how, yeah, you might be disappointed, but they just move on.
Patricia Legita tools the block and a point for Wake Forest. But if you're Jolene Nagel, a roster with 10 underclassmen, largely a freshman offense, but graduated so much with Carrie Keefe and company a year ago. And she has loved the communication and leadership of this young group.
Oh, yeah. The morale, you know, we ask her, hey, Coach, how's morale? She goes, honestly, if you can believe it, it's high. We are just powering through this. They battle, they fight. Resiliency is very high for the Blue Devils. That's something Coach Nagel has so much experience with.
Duke won double-digit ACC games just 2 years ago. Kind of shows how quickly you can rebound or even try to recover. And there's a kill for Taylor Williams, who's a big part of that, out of Mountain View, California. We noted the Duke youth, Olivia Wayne, who just entered the lineup at the start of November. Legita gets a net touch from Duke, and 2 quick points for Patricia Legita.
Legita, one of those players that had to have a crash course in the preseason, didn't get here until August, but she has gotten up to speed quickly.
And not just quickly, it's 3 straight double-doubles. She's become the lead cog in this offense.
Yeah, she's made a big impact career-wise, right? Reaching 100 or 800 kills against Virginia. She's making a big impact, solidifying herself in the books for Wake Forest.
Now Jolene Nagel discussing with her middles, always coaching the ABCs of these two that have decades plus of experience in the league. For Holzmeier, of course, that was at Florida State for a decade. For Nagel, 4 conference championships. The serve pulls Charlotte Glass off the 10-foot line. And now Paige Crawford's first swing. We know to Crawford, top 5 in career kills at Wake, and even higher among the rally scoring era. There's Crawford again with a quick point.
That's what's so special about her, though. It's not just the big rip. Paige Crawford has such a high volleyball IQ when it comes to that placement. The roll shot didn't work before. This roll shot working well this time. A nice soft touch high up and over the block.
The Wimberley, Texas native. And Holzmeier noted the offense hasn't been perfect in the win streak, but they've been really scrappy on the defensive end, winning 5 of 6. Ryan Baker, the fellow senior, goes middle. Good tip and a free ball. That goes out of play, all even at 4 here in the first set. We noted with Coach Holzmeier, getting to 8 wins was a monumental moment for Wake, and now there's a lot of opportunity around the program, not just to get to 500 overall, but build momentum into next year.
Yeah, it's not only a conversation you have with the team, but especially the seniors. You know, they talk to each other. We're like, hey, we want to win. That's what we're about in our final year here at Wake Forest. And that's something that Coach Holzmeier was like, yep, I'm on board with that as well.
You know, things shift when it's an expectation conversation. Yep. Not just, hey, we want to win, but hey, we need to beat Team X, Team Y. They went 1-1 in the Virginias last week as Ashby Zubcevic hits it in the net.
Well, and that's been a learning curve, right? Not just being the underdog anymore, but expected to win matches. That's an evolution of something that they've been working through this season.
So now Williams, the Mississippi State transfer, has become a real weapon in the middle. Over 1.5 kills a set. Here's an overball, and a fellow middle, Khalees Hawkins' big swing. Ryan Baker works in system and tools that block. So Baker's now over 25 career assists. They honored her pre-match. There's a lot of confidence in this center.
Oh yeah, Ryan Baker, I mean, they call the setters the quarterbacks of these offenses for a reason. Being a facilitator, having that connection with new hitters and old hitters. She does a nice job of running that offense.
Avery Carlson of SMU may win setter of the year in this league. She's electric, but Wake's 2-setter attack, they've been efficient this year. Holzmeier loves their vibe as they play off each other so well. Crawford takes a swing from the back row. Good dump, and Baker's all over it. Nice effort from Lalaji. And that time it hits the floor for Duke. That's Ngazi Elo, one of the rare veterans at a Peachtree City, Georgia.
I know we're talking about these freshmen and sophomores that carry big loads for the Blue Devils, but Elo does just that. Not only her experience being a senior, but also being able to pick up the slack defensively with the big blocks, but now getting involved offensively, a good sign for Duke early on tonight.
Elo in November has had to play all 6 rotations. Big adjustment for the longtime middle. Good set by Baker. Zubcevic through the block, and Duke has tied it at 6. There's a lot of momentum with Ashby Zubcevic. She's 15, 16 kills a match, playing really good down the stretch.
She's had successes against Wake Forest earlier this season. We talked about that season high 21 kills, part of back-to-back matches where she had 21 kills, the other one coming against NC State.
Elo with one of the more unique float serves you see in the conference. Nagel said it's packing all that strength into a soft floater. It's so unique. Crawford goes middle of the court, scooped up by Tomlik. Now outside Zubcevic, good save. A busy first set for Drew Lalaji in the back row, the Atlanta native. Crawford unloads. There's Tomlak. Another swing. Crawford all over.
We talk about Crawford's consistency, and that bleeds into every rally, every play, staying on top of it. First swing, dug up. Crawford ready to reload. Gets up, drills it back down.
Over 1,300 career kills for Crawford. She knows how to put balls away. And the second setter in the offense, Becca Bellows, now in to serve. Riley Whitekettle has joined in the front. That's off her hands. Point Duke.
That's an element to Zubcevic's game that she's been able to grow on. Being a freshman, coming from high school, kind of every powerful swing you have can just find its way through the block. But collegiately, you have to work around that block, and Zubcevic has found different ways to do that.
Her best matches have been against teams in this state: Carolina, Duke, and Wake Forest. As Whitekettle tools the middle. So Riley Whitekettle, her first point, the New Mexico State transfer. And that's one of the pieces that returns for Wake next year. Could be a big arm on the outside.
It's a great sign. When recruiting her and bringing her in, Coach Hosmeyer said that she brings a new level of physicality to Wake Forest. Has had that physicality back in that arm. Great sign for Wake Forest.
Here's the super senior Crawford on serve. Her final home match today. Farrell on the set. Legita with a deke. Well, that swing came out of nowhere for the point.
Legita doing a nice job of disguising what her action was going to be. She has a nice wind-up. Taking a look, she might rip it down, but no, just a gentle touch, pushes that ball, tips right over the block. A nice disguise.
The old beach volleyball shot had the whole defense fooled. That hits the tape, and Crawford saves it. Now Legita unloads, back corner. There's a lot of tools in her toolbox. Remember, Legita's a junior as well out of Chicago State, so you think about who's coming back for Wake. On paper, there are some big options on the outside. Crawford with an ace, and it's a 4-point Duke swing.
Crawford has been so aggressive from that service line all season long. 23 aces now for her senior campaign, just hitting that deep back corner. What a shot.
If we get enamored with the kill numbers, Crawford's one of the better servers in Wake history as well. There's a dig for Crawford. That's going to be a tricky return. Nice save. And Zubcevic off the tape. Legita unloads, ricochet. There is no quit in these programs in the final week of the season. Hawkins clears it. Nice kill from Olivia Wayne on the right.
Well, shout out to Charlotte Glass for extending that rally, just taking shot after shot from Legita in right back. Both these teams, though, these are two of the best liberos in the ACC when it comes to that dig count, the digs per set, but both these teams like to battle it out.
That matchup of Farrell and then back and forth with Godshall. Those are two elite back row players. And Zubcevic will sub out in this rotation. Lauren Ingram, the Dallas native who's been excellent the last month, comes in defensively. Coach Nagel's so big on Ingram in our call. She has the perfect preparation, teaches our young players so much. Like Wayne, who hits it off the tape. Wake gets the point. It never went over the net. And here's Emma Farrell. Two-time All-ACC. You'd imagine, hopefully she gets on a list next week for All-Conference. But one of the better defensive players in the league. Williams unloads, and that goes out of play. Point Duke. There's Mylan Godshall, who's third in digs. Farrell's second in the league. These two go back and forth every week, and a better ace to partner.
Godshall, just a sophomore though, being able to set a nice high ceiling for herself, having these numbers early, and she is known for this serve as well, being very aggressive from behind that line and consistent.
Whitekettle from the 10-foot line's dug out. This is Williams. Taylor touches hands, and Duke with 3 straight points. That was an area for Jolene Nagel, the resolve of a team with 2 conference wins. They've been very impressive despite the record.
And it's something that we don't see either that Coach Nagel was talking about, the way they approach practice. The conversations are still positive. There's no drop-off when it comes to how much they want to win.
She said, despite our record, our team still cracks jokes between practice. We have fun. A tip for Legita, who now has 5 kills.
It's interesting because that's what Coach Holzmeyer said too when it comes down to these tough stretches. You have to remind yourself that we like playing volleyball, right? Volleyball is fun. We love this sport. Let's not let the losses get in the way of that.
Wake on this end, they played some solid volleyball down the stretch. 4-2 in this last month. Wayne is dug out by Farrell. Nothing new for her. Crawford from the back. Elo's roofed. That'll send us to a timeout. Good hands from Sanaa Williams. So we'll step aside early in this first set. Wake, a defensive show early. We'll be right back with the rest of the first. For 4 seniors, but this trio been very impressive. We noted Crawford offensively, Farrell on the defensive end, and Baker, you look now, she's in the top 10 in all-time assists. What a great anchor for this program.
Yeah, and someone who can lead by example, too. You have a sophomore setter in Becca Bellows, who is learning from Ryan Baker, and Coach Holzmeyer said they have a great connection, a great friendship. They are always pepper partners, and that's someone that you would like to learn from. Look at those numbers for Baker.
They noted the setters are roommates, which he'd never had in his coaching career, running that 2-setter offense. Right now, though, Wake's offense pretty efficient. Patricia Legita's been the star in this first set. And there's Baker, the senior. Charlotte Glass, just a freshman at the setter position. Good feet in the middle, but that swing out of play by Elo. You sort of look at this Wake team now, it's what Duke could be in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, when you talk about the youth being able to grow and having this much rep, right, in their freshman and sophomore years, you only know they're going to be that much better when they're upperclassmen.
Here's an ace for Wake. A nice 5-point swing out of the timeout.
It's also interesting when we're talking about those seniors, right? That's an outside hitter, a libero, and a setter. You have veterans in the most, influential roles on the court. A great combination for Coach Holzmeyer.
A quick timeout for Jolie Nagel. Yeah, those 4 seniors for Wake were all here when this program had 2 or 3 wins in the conference. They got to 8, but a chance to break a 15-year drought in terms of double-digit wins in the league.
And that's something we've mentioned too, sitting down with Coach Holzmeyer preseason when he's coming in, right? He's joining them, right? They're not joining him necessarily. That's something he told us, and that's the conversation he had with those seniors. They wanted to win. They wanted to leave a mark, and as we've listed the stats, they've already left their mark in the record books, but they want to be able to close out the season. They have an opportunity to be 500. So many opportunities to reach milestones that haven't been seen in a while.
Yeah, that second bullet's important to ending the season strong. Under the previous staff, there had been some tough finishes in terms of losing streaks, but if you're Holzmeyer, you have to like how Wake's ended the year.
And especially, we talked about the offense where he hasn't felt like they've looked as good as they could be, but they're resetting. They were on a tough road trip, and now they're at home, and then they'll go to Notre Dame to close out the season.
Yeah, a lot to play for these programs in the last week. It's not just the top 6 that are all ranked. There's different caveats for each program. For Wake, it's getting to 500. For Duke, it's finishing strong. They had a great start, right? You beat NC State week 1, and then Jolie Nagel noted we played our worst match of the year against Wake to open the season, so they want to get some retribution down the stretch.
Yeah, she's so transparent. She's so great to talk to. She was like, I'll be honest, I didn't think we played that great. We didn't really play to our potential. And she said that about a couple different matches where she knows this team is way better than some of the stuff they're showing. And when they're rolling, they can be a real threat.
And with Henke back healthy for Florida State, winning a set over the Seminoles, it may be overlooked, but it's an important set win. Late in this first set, all Wake Forest recently, until that kill is punched to the floor.
Olivia Wayne now with 3 kills. We talked about her addition to the lineup these past couple of weeks, and this is why, building that confidence and aggression. It's hard to get one by Emma Farrell.
Wayne has been a huge star here in November for Duke. Legita, that's a lift, point Wake Forest. How about Patricia Legita, 6 kills on 10 swings.
Yeah, Coach Holzmeyer telling us that he didn't know how tough she could be. He knew how good she was going to be, but not physically very tough. And the way she's approached the game this year has really surprised Coach Holzmeyer.
She was an honorable mention All-American at Chicago State. And he said, hey, that challenge of going from one level in the NEC to the ACC, but he's been very impressed the last month.
But she's also had that bridge. She played for the Poland's national team as well, so she has, experience competing at a high level.
With the Olympics looming in Los Angeles. Crawford swing dug out. First swings for Sadie Peck, and that hits the floor. So Wake 6 points from the set. Peck had double-figure kills Sunday in the 4-set loss to Virginia that ended the 3-match win streak. Wake looked like world beaters in the first set, and then the final 3 sets, the offense struggled, and Holzmeyer noted that. We got to finish strong. Yeah, they hit 400 in the first set, and then ended the match around 0 hit percentage total. It was an up-and-down kind of day.
I think you find that consistency with youth and also new pieces, but you'd like to think towards the end of your season you have those kinks ironed out.
Here's Taylor Williams. Baker in system. Ooh, risky pass from Elo. Wake getting everything they want offensively in this first set. Great swing to the back corner. There's Zubcevic, the La Cañada product.
With this Duke offense is in system, and they can have a quick set like that, especially feeding one of your most powerful and consistent hitters in Zubcevic. They have great results. I think something that Coach Nagel talked to us about is that first contact, right, or just making sure they get in rhythm.
There's a lot of responsibility on Ashby's shoulders this year, and the freshman stepped up. There's a dump. Look at Farrell getting all over it. Her 5th dig. Zubcevic again, and a roof. Good hands from Williams at the net.
2 blocks for Sanaa Williams. She has been elite when it comes to covering the top of the tape. Not only the way that she tracks the ball in the movement, but her timing and crunch and press over that net.
This is actually a Duke point now.
If there was a net violation.
Yeah, I didn't see that initially. So now it's 19-15 here in the first for Taylor Williams. Hitting error for Sadie Peck, and now a timeout for Wake Forest. Well, to Jolene Nagel's credit, Duke has responded, and we're going to look at that last play that got overturned.
Far right arm hitting that top of the tape for the net violation. What was a Williams block comes up Duke point.
Yeah, it wasn't Williams who touched the net, but Peck. That was hard to notice right away. The way Legita's been rolling for Wake Forest, she's looked unstoppable, and yet, kind of the way ACC volleyball is, it's a 3-point difference late in this first set.
I think it's just being able to not let other teams go on big runs, right? That's the game. The name of the game for volleyball is these runs and stringing points together. That side-out percentage, so important. And Wake Forest not getting that call, but being able to bounce back here will be important for Coach Holzmeyer.
I want to see that picture in the back corner. Look at that nice old man there. He's just taking a little picture and he's enjoying his day.
Yeah, this place is packed.
They got balloon animals being handed out. We tried our best balloon art. It wasn't perfect.
Yeah,
Yours
I just
was
got a lot
better
of
than mine.
static on my hair after putting that balloon on my head.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a long week. We got turkey tomorrow to break things up.
That's true.
And then the volleyball regular season concludes on Sunday with selection show and then the race to the Final Four. Kansas City, a little farther away than usual, but you never know. ACC sent a team to the Final Four in 5 straight years. Pitt looks as good as ever. Louisville right there. But Stanford in first place as we enter this last week. A 3-point Duke run. Zubcevic is tipped, and that goes out of play.
Another big block on that right side. This one not followed up by a net violation, though, as Wake Forest is able to shut down the play. These two in sync with Peck and Williams closing down on that pin, ready for Zubcevic.
To your point, no net touch there. Williams, who came out excellent, 10 blocks against Florida State, one of the early home matches in the league. Now Khalees Hawkins in the front, the freshman middle. There's a dump. Oh, Baker putting on a show in her final home match.
Make that 10 kills for Ryan Baker this season. Likes to get the job done in her final home match of her career.
Yeah, she said, hey, did you see that, Becca? Try that yourself next season when it's your offense to run.
It's so hard to do. It looks kind of so easy when they do it, but you have to make sure your timing's there. You have to disguise what your arms are going to do, not put it up too high or too short. Just find that donut on the other side.
So as we dive into this loaded conference, these two teams will not make the postseason, but the ACC has a chance to really be dangerous this year. You look nationally speaking, so Pitt and Stanford have that top 5 ranking, but you get the top 16 and you earn a hosting spot. Carolina's right on that bubble, but 5 legitimate hosts are incredible for this league.
And we've seen these teams all battle during the regular season as well. So you know when it comes tournament time, they're going to have that same mentality. And it's really interesting to see the parity this year. I feel like it's grown each year.
Louisville and Pitt will play tonight in terms of that league positioning. And then Stanford has Pitt later in the week. So there's a lot of opportunities to see who can win the league, who gets that top 8 national seed. Louisville coming off that Final Four run. They're reloading, but impressive defensively.
Just wonder who's going to be able to stop Nebraska. That's
No
my
doubt.
biggest question.
Yeah, they just suffered their first loss, what, a couple weeks ago? It's one of those teams that's like a locomotive. And even Miami with Flor Marie, you know, the way she's swinging, that can be a one-woman wrecking crew. She's over 6 points a set, which is hard to fathom.
And she does it in so many different ways, it's crazy.
Miami will be at Carolina this weekend. That's a top 25 battle. Here on the other side of the Big Four, it's Duke and Wake for the second time. Overpass, and Duke's 3 points in the set.
Wake Forest will make you pay for that overpass with their size and athleticism at the net. That time it's Hawkins and Peck up top closing out.
Glass goes outside. Look at this effort. Williams saves it. All started from Lalaji. Now Duke in system. Zubcevic roofed. It's Wake, 2 points from the set.
Demon Deacons backing up their offense with that defense, the hustle play to get that ball over, keep that rally alive, then shut it back down.
After a Duke 4-point run, Wake with a run of their own. That matchup in Durham, it was 3 sets, all within a set point. Very competitive. 2 months later, Wake's taking control. And there is a touch, so point for Ashby Zubcevic. The freshman had a fun glance at our lead referee, Kevin Wendell. BCC, I told you. I knew I got contact there. Coach Nagel noted it's the quiet confidence of Zubcevic that makes her special. Peck 1v1. And Ashby into the roof. Wow, what a first set for the Wake blocking.
4 blocks now for the Demon Deacons, and it's really been held up by the middles, being able to close in and close out. That one just all Hawkins right there, the freshman closing down. 6'3", high hands.
Good stuff block. Here's set point. And that's in. Great service from Becca Bellows. And Wake dominates here in the first. We'll step aside. Final home match for the Deacons at home. They're running 25-17. Set 2 coming up next. Welcome back to Winston-Salem. All Wake 25-17 in the first, largely due to Amanda Patricia Legita. Not just the 6 kills, but so dominant at the net offensively.
Yeah, and she's done it in multiple ways, right? She's found her creativity at the net, being able to not only slam it down, but find that perfect placement. 6 kills, hitting 500, just 1 error on 10 total attacks. She's just done a great job of reading what that Duke defense is giving her, whether it's swinging over those high hands or being able to place it right over them. Nice tip, tooled off the block there. Legita, that junior Chicago State transfer, been able to elevate her game, stepping into the ACC. Coach Holzmeyer has been so impressed with her toughness, tough ability to approach the ball. She's dealt with some physical things on that side of the game, but she has pushed through that.
And she's got some personality.
Yes.
These kids aren't just robots. They can enjoy some good music, too. Oh, yeah, she's going for it.
Oh, yeah.
Legita, 3 straight double-doubles, and a little bit of pop to her.
Well, and she's someone who's been to the NCAA tournament with Chicago State. So she's seen a high level of volleyball, and that's something that is why she wanted to come to Wake Forest, to be able to compete with some of the best.
Duke, meanwhile, Ashby Zubcevic, the 5 kills. But, Amanda, you know this. When you're swinging 17 times a set, it's a tough ratio to score.
Well, she's doing a good job of not looking too exhausted, right, with that workload. But it's kind of hard when you're going up against a Wake Forest team that's starting to read you a lot better. You got to get Olivia Wayne, get your middles back involved to diversify that offense, trying to fool these Wake Forest blockers that are heating up.
And then Coach Holzmeyer's laughing because he subbed in a whole different rotation to start the set. He said, hey, guys, we're in the wrong rotation. Let's switch this up. Everyone's having a blast in this final week of the regular season. Emma Farrell comes in on the back row. Wake thought Duke was serving first. Duke's like, no, Wake, you're serving first. So then everyone's easing into the holiday week.
Yes, already thinking about the big meals.
So Emma Farrell on her final home match, one of the better defensive players in Wake career history. Good serve to start the set. Now she'll set up Riley Whitekettle. Good block at the net. There's Williams again with the roof.
Williams, one of those players that Coach Holzmeyer told us, you know, she's really embraced her bigger role. She's kind of realizing, hey, it is up to me.
Yeah, Williams with another year of eligibility as well. So a middle piece coming back and then 2 arms on the outside. And as both coaches noted, December 7th, that portal opens, the window begins. So you start going Christmas shopping for new players.
I know, I can't imagine that schedule, just the mindset, just, all right, what's next? What's next? What do I have to do? What do I have to think about? That's why I have a coaching staff. It's not just on you.
Duke will make a sub as well. Avery Hamlin, who's been in and out of the lineup, but they love her in that 6'2". She'll come in the front row, the sophomore outside. That stays in for Sanaa Williams, having a great start to this match. That might be the one area Wake has the biggest advantage in terms of the production of their middles.
Yeah, and I think it starts with that first pass, too, even being able to set their middles and get into system.
Wake last year graduated the 5-year starter and Olivia Frankie. They went young with the middles, and it's been successful. That stays in play. Wayne with a point. Got hands as well. For Jolene Nagel, a full offseason with this young roster. Zubcevic, who has shown she could play at a high level. And then 2 middle freshmen. There's a lot of potential coming back. Legita on the run. Oh, that stays in. Great shot from Legita.
Just tracking that bump set, somehow just turning her shoulder deep in zone 1. It falls in.
So Legita's shown it's not just power, right? It's the creativity of all these different shots.
So versatile. That's what makes her so dangerous. The defense doesn't even know how to read her.
And as the versatility's picked up, the production's followed suit for the first-year transfer. Good hands of the net. And a joust goes back to Legita. Crawford through the block. That's out of bounds. Our lead referee overruling the line judge. Point Wake Forest.
Duke's asking for touch.
So Jolie Nagel using a challenge.
Taylor Williams pointing at her eyes, saying, I think I saw that.
Yeah, Coach Nagel always going through the process with Zubcevic. We led the state of California in kills last year, and there's a lot of great prep talent. Remember, call on the court, no touch, and the ball's out of bounds.
Ooh. You're looking for, right, that ball to turn directions or those fingertips to bend back.
Yeah, it's a mix of her hands turning as the ball's passing her and then trying to piece those angles together.
I feel like if the ball touched her, her hand wouldn't turn in like that, but
that's up to D-Batch.
Yeah.
That's not up to us.
I don't have to do that job. Just a reminder, you have to have enough video evidence to overturn that as well. You have to be sure.
I think we should start ranking coaches on challenge success rate.
I know that's something they need to put in the game notes. I need your challenge success record.
And then, yeah, who's the best coach at the challenges
Yep.
and who's struggling at the challenges. And then they can laugh about it at their winter meetings.
Yes. It sounds like a great idea.
Okay, ruling coming here from D. Bachelor. There is a touch. So Duke wins the point. It's 3-3 now.
Coach Nagel doing a nice job of just believing her players, right? Having that chemistry and that relationship where, hey, you said you saw it, I'm going to challenge. It might not seem that important now, but you tied up the game with that one.
So Drew Lalaji subs in defensively for Wake. Olivia Wayne back to serve. Wake has been in system this entire match. Peck with a big swing. Godschel again defensively. And that goes into the net.
Great touch for Godschel, but unfortunate that's just too tight of a set to be able to track down, especially when you have a towering Wake Forest block up against you.
There's a lot asked of the freshman Ashby Zubcevic. Now Stanford has the luxury of 3 freshmen All-American on the outset, right? They can overcome those young arms. For Duke, there's a lot of swings, high workloader. Zubcevic again and a net touch on Wake. Uncharacteristic defensive error. Service error, gives it right back. You get a look now what Wake's offense could visualize next year. Becca Bellows, the lone returning setter. There's Duke consistent with Elo, and that shot is long. The Duke with a high error rate early in this match.
Yeah, they're getting great looks. These are great sets they're pushing. Just a matter of coming down with that one clean.
That's the 9th Duke hitting error, so you're basically giving away 4 points a set. Good adjustment by Elo. That was gifted on a table. Good recovery by Godschel. Did you see Farrell come flying on the back of the screen there? And a point for Wake Forest, all thanks to good backline defense.
Well, that was just a great cross between Lulaji and Farrell. Farrell just having her back like that, crossing on that swing.
Not that Lalagi is a true DS, but you sort of see a mirroring future for those two, how they play the position so well. But as Holzmeyer noted, it's impossible to replace Emma Farrell. We can do everything we want. There's even a building on campus called the Farrell Building, not related. But Farrell Hall, and the way Emma Farrell plays defensively, it's going to leave an imprint here in Reynolds Gym.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to talk about replacing her, but you do have to think of the future, right? And Coach Holzmeyer saying it's going to take a couple people to actually put up the production she's done.
And who knows, maybe in a few years there is a statue for Emma Farrell. We'll speak that into existence. Good kill in the middle for Khalees Hawkins.
Hawkins, another one of those freshmen with a bright future. Defensively, top 25 in the ACC when it comes to blocks per set, but she has so many physical tools, according to Coach Holzmeyer, telling us that just a raw player just has all this potential, just needs the guidance.
Williams, great shot down line. Taylor had double-figure kills at Florida State. She's getting more involved here in the second set.
Yeah, she just reached 500 career kills against Miami, as well as she's been able to rack them up. And look at that nice swing. Thumb up play going straight for the line.
Service error for Duke. Williams was asked to move, kind of like most of Duke's roster, from 3 rotations to 6. And that's not an easy thing you just do overnight, but she's found a way to get her rhythm offensively.
Yeah, and she's a veteran sophomore. Like, it doesn't make sense, but she's had so much experience her freshman year, and now building on that in year 2, you could tell she's just grown immensely.
Yeah, when Carrie Keefe graduated, there was a huge hole on the right. Williams has done so much for Duke, and the hands of Wake are taken over.
Sanaa Williams, the Mississippi State transfer, stepping up big, closing down. Look at that, an ACC play. She's averaging 1 block per set. She likes to rack them up.
She had 10 against Florida State, already 3 in this match and counting. That did not hit Wake Forest hands, so here's a 4-point swing for the Demon Deacons. Very methodical start for Wake. They've won 3 of their last 4. And searching for a 9th conference win, which has evaded Wake over the last decade. Good block, Whitekettle. How about these defensive hands of the Deacons?
It's like Williams says, hey, Whitekettle, you could take this one. Whitekettle there closing down right next to the antenna. Great shutdown by Whitekettle as Wake Forest leads 12-6.
Early in set 2, these numbers pretty convincing. Wake great offensively and then forcing Duke mistakes with their defense.
Yeah, not hitting percentage for Wake Forest has been pushed up thanks to a nice start to this second set, hitting .625. They've been so efficient offensively and then defensively suffocating this Duke offense.
With no kids in school today, I tell you, pre-Thanksgiving, this place is locked and loaded. There's balloons. There's barely a seat in the house. And it's the final home game for Wake. You can feel the energy through 2 sets. No DJ needed when this place is rocking. Wake 7 home wins this year, searching for an 8th. Legita That block is in. Good hands by Olivia Wayne.
Getting Wayne back involved. We saw some great flashes in set one from her, but now the freshman getting involved on that slide, coming on over with the swing and then backs it up with a nice block.
Coach Nagel noted her ability to be aggressive in spots, that we need more of that from Duke. Good hands there for the block. There's an ace. Back-to-back points.
That's a rare serving error, serve-receive error from Paige Crawford. She's one of the best serve-receive outside hitters in the ACC.
That's been a big point of emphasis for Crawford this year. Better on the defensive end. Magida, who keeps flipping her arm and changing every angle of her shot, is dug out that time. Ooh. Hawkins showing off the wingspan. And it hits Wayne going out of bounds. Point Wake.
I love the reaction, not just from the crowd, but from the big blockers, right? Their facial expressions. Sometimes there's a flex that goes with it. A nice play for Wake Forest, adding on block number 7.
Wayne's going to be watching some Keanu Reeves tonight to learn the matrix, how to avoid a ball going out of bounds. Hard to do in real time. And then Wayne tools a block herself. Good response from the freshman. Not as much demonstrative response, yeah.
Right. That all started with a perfect pass from Avery Hamlin, though, to be able to put that set. Charlotte Glass not even have to moving at all against that net to be able to set up that back set for the swing.
Wayne was a recruited middle blocker, and they've taught her more of that right side roll. She's done a nice job. There's Wayne getting hands on it, and it's cleared. And Gazi Elo beats the hands. Duke with 3 of the last 4 points.
When you can get Elo involved, you know you've got a good thing going for Duke, being able to get that power going. We've seen her take some nice rips this afternoon, but now she's finding that consistency.
Yeah, Duke, bottom of the league in getting their middles involved. So difficult to score back there. It's been very pin heavy this year, including Williams from the back, who hits one out of bounds.
And I asked Coach Nagel this week about how, you know, when you're watching your team and you're saying they're playing some of their better volleyball, what are those things that you're seeing that is considered better volleyball for you? And she's like, it starts with the serve and pass, right? She's like, every coach says that, but it's so important having that first contact. Then she's also looking at blocking. How are you reading the opposing offense? And that's something Duke's going to have to do this afternoon.
Yeah, especially with the blocking of Wake early. There's a good response by Wayne from the right side. Well, you see the pieces of what makes this Duke team dangerous.
Yeah, they just have these spurts of crazy play, right? Look at this aggression from Olivia Wayne, the freshman, who has not had consistent play time this season, but her number's called and she's seizing the moment.
Wake leaning on its young arms. There's Hawkins with another point, pardon me, Williams with another point. Hawkins will sub in for her. Now Williams with a 4-point lead on service. Charlotte Glass setting it up. That's in. Elo to the back row. It's not always these powerful swings from Ngazi Elo, but she knows where to put it.
You just got to find open court, and that's one of those rare rotations where Emma Farrell is not back there to cover everything. So Elo doing a nice job of taking advantage.
And Farrell with a quiet 4 digs, and I say that by her standards.
Right.
There's Farrell all over the floor. Said, don't sleep on me yet. Final home match. And that goes out of bounds. Point Wake, all because of Farrell's defense.
Her coverage is so impressive for this Wake Forest team. She's so small. Somehow she's just like in the way, but not in the way at all, and just in the right spot. Nice left-handed reach, just stretches out for that ball.
A lot will be missed from this Wake senior class. Maybe no more than Emma Farrell's coverage all over the court. One of the better liberos in the league, and that tools the block. Williams with another kill.
Taylor Williams continuing to try to work around that block, and sometimes you don't work around it, you work through it, trying to find that split, and she succeeds.
Duke is almost the exact reverse of what Wake was 3 years ago, right? A lineup full of freshmen and sophomores. see what Duke can be in the next couple years. Oh, that goes over. Legita, technically, a kill.
A bump kill. That one is just like your depth perception was off, right? Didn't see that one coming over. And also Becca Bellows looking like she was going up to set that as well, I think threw Duke off.
Legita has found every different way to score today. I wouldn't be surprised that it's added to her rotation. Much more traditional set. And then Legita does that. Tough return. White Kettles, big arms get to that one. So Wake's got 8 blocks as a team.
They have been able to track, read, and time it so well. And it helps when Duke is out of system. You've got these high bump sets that you're able to track and get up on. Williams having trouble pushing her way past it.
That snaps a 3-point Wake Forest run. And we told you about Zubcevic eating rotations, eating reps. Well, Charlotte Glass has done just that. First-year starting setter, has played every second. There's a lot of responsibility on Glass's young setting arms. Good dump. Glass can't get to that one. Another dump kill for Wake. Let's see if Bellows talks some smack to Baker. Yeah, she clapped her hands there. We saw that. Say, no, that's how you do it.
Yeah, we talked about the libero battles, right? These two elite liberos in the ACC, but now we've got setters going shot for shot.
That's into the net. Wake's 5 points from the set. This is what Holzmeyer noted as well. Timeout, Duke. When we're the favorite, can we play like the favorite? And we're seeing it through 2 sets.
Yeah, we talked about it before, right? It's easy to be the underdog sometimes. You got this chip on your shoulder that you want to play through, but now it's like we're supposed to be winning these matches and we have to really evolve with that.
Big part of that's been the Wake defense. We noted the 8 blocks, which that's a lot of points, but overall, man, it's so many different ways they're affecting shots.
Yeah, it's just kind of the intimidation factor as well. Not just the stuffs, but they're getting good block touches as well. And then also just being able to intimidate hitters for Duke, trying to hit over those high hands, coming up with a lot of errors because of that wall that's going up against the net. And you've seen it with everybody, right? The pin hitters getting up for Wake Forest, but the middle blockers have done such a nice job of closing down on those pins. And you've got some freshmen, you've got some veterans in there. Great sign for Coach Holzmeyer when it comes to that defensive front.
Kara Cressy in Louisville, they're one of the better blocking teams in the country, but this kind of performance from Wake, it's hard to do that every night, but when you are blocking 4 or 5 points a set, that changes your game defensively.
In blocking as a skill, you talk to a lot of coaches, they say it's one of the most undercoached skills coming out of high school. So you have to learn a lot when you get to college when it comes to that blocking, the footwork, the timing. You have to be in sync with your teammates as well. So seeing these young players, you know, when you have freshmen coming up, they're stepping up, making some big stuffs. That's a great sign for Coach Holzmeyer.
Yeah, Sanaa Williams anchoring that block party. She's got 5. I'll bring the charcuterie board, and Williams can bring the blocks to Thanksgiving. You seem more like a canned yam kind of person, like you mix the yams. What's your Thanksgiving side dish?
Mac and cheese.
Ooh, that tastes good.
That's a good one. I do like a sweet potato.
Oh, the green bean stuff too are really good.
No.
Oh, you're not
Whoever
a greens
likes
fan?
the green bean stuff, not it.
Hey, everyone's got their plate. We can fill it any way we want.
Woo!
Good kill on the slide. Our production staff asked about breadcrumbs on it. Does that change the game? With the mac and cheese and the breadcrumbs, do you go for that?
Yeah.
Oh,
a little crunch.
anything.
A little crunch. Yeah, anything with mac and cheese. Come on.
Deep fried marshmallows are always good too.
What?
Put it on top of the yams.
I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, put the marshmallows on the yams.
I need
and
to
fry
add that. Sweet on sweet.
Very crunchy, very sweet. That's what Feast Week's all about. Into volleyball and some good food. And some basketball, I guess. There's a kill for Legita down line. Wake's in total control here in set 2.
I feel like it's been a battle between Legita and Charlotte Glass. They're just going at each other. Legita's going at Charlotte Glass. They're on that line, being able to read that defense so well. 9 kills for Legita, hitting .412.
Those are some elite numbers today for Legita, who is, we told you, 3 straight double-doubles. It's playing great at the right time. Wake back in system. Nice save, Williams. That's cleared. Baker's got options. Just see Legita there just hanging on, and that's cleared in play. Wayne got it started, and Williams terminates. Well, good play on both ends.
I have no doubt Legita probably could have finished that rally, but way to diversify this attack, bringing Williams in play. What a hustle play, though, from the Blue Devils, but it's Wake Forest that capitalizes on the rally, setting up Williams for the strike.
A service error gives it back to Duke. It shows you what's in the mind of Legita, right? The understanding of where to hit, when to change speeds. For a first-year transfer, she's really impressed people down the stretch.
It's that like in-air decision-making, right? While you're levitating, you're having all these different factors in your head. Such high volleyball IQ.
There's an ace for Duke. It's a 5-point difference here in the second. Legita, one of the key returners coming back for Wake next year. She'll be a senior. And it shows you why she led the country in kills per set a year ago, almost 5 kills at Chicago State.
And with Chicago State, she helped lead that team to its most wins in program history. So she's used to coming to a program where she wants to build that winning mentality, and that's something Coach Holzmeier is all about.
Chicago State in the trivia questions in the Northeast Conference for volleyball. They're kind of all over the place in the WAC for other sports, but they won the league title last year, played Louisville in the tournament. Joust at the net. Baker takes cover. Look at Farrell just circling around, getting her laps in on the court. Legita the dig. Who can terminate? Wayne does just that. Nice ball to the far corner.
Olivia Wayne has some pop to her swing right now. It's that confidence, it's that aggression, something Coach Nagel said she has been working on this season, stepping up in the moment, having more play time, seeing a lot more action, getting those reps.
Hey, here's Wayne hitting 300. It is set point now for Wake. That's a good sign if you're Duke, finding production from the freshmen. And Sanaa Williams can put this set away from the service line. All Wake Forest here through 2 sets. Oh, confusion. And a nice block for a point. Duke hangs around in the second. It's on the service arm of Avery Hamlin, the Austin, Texas native. Nearly an ace. Crawford recovers. All of a sudden, Duke taking advantage. Bad communication by Wake. Timeout, Jeff Holzmeier.
It's a nice aggressive serve from Avery Hamlin. She had a career-high 4 aces against Florida State, so you like that arm behind the service line for this run.
As Coach Holzmeier talks it over. These are the many stretches that if you're Duke, you look ahead to next year, it's like, hey, if we can bottle these 5-point swings into consistent matches. Yes, they did finish last in the ACC this year, but there are moments where they look like a team that can be very competitive.
I think that goes into a lot of situational stuff, right? Building your library. I think this is something Coach Holzmeier talked to us about this week, is building that library, that experience of, hey, we were in this situation before. We know what it's like. We know what we need to do to fix that. I think so many things that they can build off of, especially in moments like that, because you can only practice so many situational things. You got to play in them to really learn.
How many times do coaches put 20s on the scoreboard and do race to 5s, right? That's
or like you're down 2 and you have to come back.
All the situations that lead from the early August to this final week. No conference tournament in the ACC, so it's pretty well set who's in, who's out. The way Georgia Tech's played the last 2 weeks, they're back in the tournament picture. And now for Wake, a chance to get to 500 in the league with Notre Dame and Duke this week. Back-to-back set points Fought off by Duke. And Hamlin's turn again from the service line. Crawford. Misses hands. There's 3 straight. Even Joe Christie, the PA announcer, noted it. One more time. It's been one of those sets that Wake's been right on the doorstep. Peck is blocked. Williams, the hands.
This is something Williams has added to her game in year 2, having that defensive capability to shut down a big play and a key moment right now for the Blue Devils.
You see the energy from Duke. This defense is stepping up late in the set.
Serve receive coming over, but just a nice track. Williams just tracking Peck on that approach, getting up, closing down. That's the biggest point, right, is being able to press down and shove that ball back down over the net.
Yeah, she beat Peck to that shot before it was even out of her arm. Just 2 blocks for Duke, but they've come at the right time late in the set. Oh, look at that girl dancing back there. She said, "Mom, I found the second row." That's adorable.
I know, where did all the balloons go? Did everybody just get bored of their balloons now? Because there was a lot to start.
We got backwards rally caps behind the Duke
Oh,
bench
wow.
here. Everyone's finding their, I mean, even one of our camera ops is a backwards
There we
hat.
go.
Everyone's having a blast. But she's eating the balloon.
That's good. That's really nice.
If you ever like open the helium and then let it go, you
Oh,
can have
yeah,
some fun.
yeah. Talking
Change
that
your
high-pitched voice, yep. Pretty sure that kills brain cells, though. Did you do that a lot, Evan, as a kid?
I lost some brain cells over the years, absolutely. I know what you're saying. I'll find them later. Set point for the 5th time here in the second. Crawford. That time she terminates and wakes up 2 sets early in their final home match. Well, it took a minute, but the veteran Paige Crawford puts her 3rd kill away. Wake a 2-set lead here in Winston. We timed that return for break perfectly. It's YMCA time and a 2-set lead for Wake Forest early over their Big Four rival in Duke. One of those matches where Wake has had total control, but as you look at the numbers, there's a lot going on in this match, right? It's good serving from Wake. It's Patricia Legita with the 9 kills, and right now an impressive start because nationally in the ACC, you look, Wake Forest has a chance to move into the top half with a win today and then a win over Notre Dame. And meanwhile, that loaded top 6, they're battling for some big seeding down the stretch.
Coach Holzmeyer said he wanted this program to be about winning, and they have the opportunity to do that to close out the regular season, trying to get to 500.
Yeah, to Wake's credit, they played some good volleyball as of late. And here we are, 2 sets in. Thanks for joining us, Amanda and Evan. We asked where the balloons are, so I found my balloon. I'm going to put it on my head and ask you this important question. What's impressed you about Wake through 2 sets?
I really like the way they've responded, not offensively, but defensively. The blocking is the biggest thing for them right now. That has been the deciding factor. Yes, efficient offense with Legita has been fun to watch.
Well, someone's got to look good, because I think I look great right now with this balloon on.
But Emma Farrell covering that back row, and then you've got some big blocks, 8 blocks in these first 2 sets, has been the game changer.
How about Wayne, the true freshman for Duke, on that right side, finding ways to score in that second set?
Yeah, and I like her on that slide. She's getting comfortable. She's getting aggressive, coming from the middle, moving to that right side, finding that cross-court connection. And she has a nice pop to her swing, really able to bring that thing down. Look at that line shot from Olivia Wayne, the freshman, opening up her game in a big moment.
Wayne nearing a career high in kills, and then Legita just unstoppable, basically in the first 2 sets.
We keep talking about her different ways of killing, right? That one, just a nice disguise in her approach. She has so much intelligence when it comes to the shot selection. She has been able to even look at that out of system, a high bump set. Somehow she makes it happen deep in zone 1. But then when she gets her full approach going, she can just rack a block.
That's been the story for Wake, a lot of balance. And these numbers, it looks like Wake has dominated the match, but Duke found a way in that second to keep things pretty close.
It's really just about that clean volleyball, right? Just too many attacking errors for this Duke team to be able to make a run and string points together. Wake Forest has played cleaner volleyball, giving them the edge.
Yeah, Wayne's season high was 11 kills against Wake Forest. So Wayne's right at her career best, and then Legita. Now those numbers are all conference type outing for Legita today. We noted the 3 straight double-doubles. It would be hard to see her get to 10 digs in this match, but offensively, she's taken over.
Yeah, she's got a lot of different opportunities to do so, right? You got to feed the hot hand.
So we start the 3rd set here in Winston. Riley Whitekettle misses wide out of the timeout. Since Whitekettle has dyed her hair red, Wake has won 4 of their last 6 matches. I don't know if there's anything to that, but yeah, she switched the hair mid-season, and Wake's playing a lot better. Legita puts another kill away, her 10th.
Legita, just so much power in that arm. Farrell just giving a nice pass on point to have a nice set. Just a beautiful sequence of volleyball.
That's what you love to see from both programs late in the year. Clean volleyball, playing fresh, ending the year on win streaks, or at least playing good offense. Because Wake, in the last 5 years, their record has not been great at the end of November. They're playing a lot better here down the stretch. Legita again.
Duke just doesn't know how to read her right now, and Legita is doing such a nice job of her approach. Looks the same as those last-minute decisions to tip, just reading that block, finding open court.
I mean, she's rocking Gene Simmons tongue wags, like every bit of celebration, all the different angles of her shots. I bet the ball's going right back to Legita here. Well, that's why I don't coach. Good tip in the middle from Duke. Williams tools the block, and Duke evens the set.
That's going to be a way for Duke to find points, right? They've been shut down at the net, but now it's try to use that block to your advantage. Coach Nagel's talked a lot about taking advantage of that upper edge of the block off the high hands or being able to wipe it.
A little more relief for Zubcevic, too. Williams taking some heavy swings. But you see that over-the-shoulder tap from Legita. Big hands, White Kettle. Gotchel all over it. Zelbzevich testing Legita. Great pancake, that's up. White Kettle touches. Wayne dug out. Longest rally of the match. Wayne, Farrell to the floor, point Duke.
The pancake kept this rally alive. Charlotte Glass in right back. That's what you have to do is in the 5-1, your setter has to play elite defense. Charlotte Glass being able to get there, get that ball up.
Wake using its final challenge. They think the ball hit the floor on that pancake. So we'll watch it again, and this could be crucial if Wake loses this. Would it be their last challenge? But here's the review.
We'll take another look. Glass going down. Ooh.
Yeah, that looks,
Yep.
as you slow that down. Call is on the floor. So Wake retains its challenge. That's like when you flip a pancake too early and all the liquid just spills out, and then half the pancake's full and half of it's not great.
The worst.
That's why those hotel waffle makers are great. You just pour it in the machine and flip it.
I'm getting kind of hungry. Talk about Thanksgiving, now we're talking
Saves
about
you the trouble.
breakfast.
I do mine more like Mickey Mouse
Oh,
pancakes with the
really?
ears on top. Oh yeah,
Oh, I love that.
that's the way I eat them, with bananas and strawberries mixed in the middle.
Oh, wow.
Someone didn't eat lunch today, and that's probably me. So Wake regains the lead early in this set, and a hitting error for Duke is overruled by our lead referee. There was a tip. Lakita saying, I didn't touch it. Oh man, is Wake going to challenge back-to-back points? Holzmeyer going to his staff and saying, yeah, we're going to challenge this.
Relentless.
Tina Riedling, his top assistant, gave him the assist. So let's take a look. Call on the court was it did touch Duke, or sorry, did touch Wake, and that's doesn't look very clear on that one.
Looks like it's right on over the block.
But Kevin Wendelby heard or saw something and noted that was a touch.
He's got a pretty good view.
I think this review will be fast, but I've said that many times before. So when does your Christmas decorations go up? Are you?
They're already up.
Oh, they're already up.
Yeah, are you
well,
kidding
that makes
me?
two of us.
Really?
I think we're in the minority. But
I love it. Do you do a real Christmas tree or a fake one?
Fake.
Yeah, more convenient.
We actually have 3 Christmas trees in the house. That's why we have fake.
I'm jealous.
No touch at the net. Jeff Holzmeyer looking to deliver the gift of Wake's best season in 15 years. That year they swept Duke in 2010. It'd be their first sweep of Duke in 2 matchups in that 15-year span. We'll add it to the list of coaches' challenges records. Wake's 2 for 2, Duke's 1 for 1. And an easy kill in the middle for Brianna Goss, who went on the court is a specimen at the net.
Yeah, the sophomore, 6-foot middle. She can have a presence. It's just we've seen it in a couple flashes, right? And that inconsistency stemming from the youth that Coach Nagel has talked to us about. But Coach Nagel about Goss saying she works her tail off. She's disciplined. She's patient. That's what leads to her elite blocking and now adding that offense.
Yeah, she had 5 blocks against Florida State. Big part of that set win as Wayne unloads. Legita tiptoes around the net. Nice save by Baker. Her inner Emma Farrell. And then Williams tips it. Peck, another touch. There are no easy swings for Duke. Godshall, nice dig. This is defense on high display. A dump. Godshall again. Nice clearance. Middle. Williams tipped. Legita. Too many touches. How about that defense?
Left back versus left back. These two liberos just everywhere. Great defense. We told you, right? These are two of the best liberos in the ACC when it comes to that dig count, digs per set, and that is why they cover so much and they anticipate so well.
Peck looks for hands, misses. Duke its first lead of the set. And momentum points. You know, for this Duke program, not only just finishing the year strong, but they won their first set in 3 weeks against Virginia Tech last week. They played better in the last 3 matches. Duke had the murderer's row of 5 strength ranked matchups. Lost all 5 in straight sets. Taking advantage of some Wake miscommunication.
It was a matter of who was playing cleaner volleyball to start these first couple of sets, and now Duke being able to do just that.
And here's the star back row player, Malin Gottschall, who gives it right back. That's been an area for Duke. High service errors all year long, which when your record is what it is, you have to be aggressive and find ways to score.
Yeah, Coach Nagel being pretty transparent with us earlier this season, just about not really worried about the errors. We just want to serve extremely aggressive, and they have some elite service weapons.
Good serve, Legita. Wow, that did not touch a Wake player. Elo almost stole a point, and will Duke challenge this? Yep, Jolene will. Okay, she's actually confirming something here first. And now the challenge of a touch. Nagel, the second longest tenured coach in the league behind Chris Poole.
Elo up against Williams.
Well, based on that angle, it's whether Williams touched it. Legita did avoid that ball. How about that? 38 years of coaching for Jolene, 717 wins. Her and Chris Poole, 2 elite veterans in the sport.
Well, that's why it's so interesting to talk to her about this year's group, because it's been a while before she's really experienced something like this, and she said it has been hard, but she said because of a culture they built in the spring, in the off season, they've been able to handle some of this disappointment, some of the losses, some of the frustration so much better because of the foundation they've set with these young players, and then a couple returners coming back to help solidify things.
The entire roster returns for Duke next year, and who knows what else is coming with the freshman class.
And you had 9 returners for this year, which sounds like a great number, but a lot of those returners were freshmen, right? So you're still dealing with that youth, but you have a lot of players that played, you know, key minutes, key sets, key matches last year.
You know, the longer this challenge goes, the more you wonder will be overturned. There was no touch, the initial call.
Yeah, Legita avoided it in that back row, but Williams up for the block. I think is what they're probably looking at.
Here's the ruling from D. Bachelor. Call stands. I argue in the offseason there should be a review clock, and if the call can't be made in, let's say, 2 minutes, the call stands.
Right.
So each coach has lost a challenge, but they're both 2 for 3. That's good numbers. And the star of today's match, Patricia Legita, back to serve. That'll stay out of play, so Wake earns the point.
Duke trying to get Olivia Wayne back involved. They've seen some great things from her, but now it's just trying to play consistent.
Very short serve from Legita. And Patricia will sub out with the back row. One of the few things Legita has not excelled in today is from the service line. So she'll exit. And Duke That's kind of been the story of Duke this year. Get on big runs and then service errors end those runs.
No, it really hurts not only your scoring run, but momentum, right? Right when you feel like you got the ball back, you have possession, let's go on a run, and kind of squash that momentum.
Gaziela with a big swing. There's Paige Crawford. If you're a fan of good libero defense, he came to the right place. And good blocking by Elo with the roof.
Coach Nagel talked about Elo's strength when it comes to her swing. Even when she sets it, she can have that power. But this time she uses that power to deflect some power there. Nice timing, gets the hand just right over the net, not too much high on that block, but high enough.
It's become harder for these teams to score in set 3. Peck gets a hand on it, whacks one, and that's in. Charlotte Glass, the setter, with a roof. That's 4 errors for Wake in this set alone. Baker has to lift one, and then Peck puts that away. Creative set from Ryan Baker.
Baker doing a nice job of getting her hitter in the right spot. Ryan Baker, the senior we talked about. Last home match for Ryan Baker, taking full advantage. The skills on display, getting Peck in position.
Her fellow setter now in, and a service error gives it back. And you can tell not the cleanest volleyball from Wake in this 3rd set.
I think that's credit to Duke's fight. They're battling back now, extending these rallies.
Crawford tools the hands, and that's where she's been special in her 4-year career.
Yeah, slow start for her this afternoon, but they'll go to her when they need something because she can make something happen. That power just bursting through the block.
The all-freshman team member 3 years ago, Crawford ending her campaign strong, nearing 1,400 career kills. She has a chance to hit that mark on Saturday. There's a good kill for Legita, who's just getting started. 12 for Legita today.
Just when I thought Duke was sizing up Legita a little bit better, she strikes back with a big one.
Williams beats the double block of Wake. And you see the potential here of Taylor Williams, who just hit 900 career kills last week in that loss to Florida State.
Talk about that growth from her freshman to sophomore year. Coach Nagel says everything you want in a player when it comes to that elevation, Williams has done.
Hawkins came flying in. Good return by Glass. Legita into the tape. And Duke holding control early in this 3rd set. Wake in this win streak has not really put a team away in straight sets. There's been multiple 4-set wins. Which I think will say a lot about Wake if they can find a way to put away this sweep and finish the homestand on a nice note. Another multi-year captain, Farrell on serve. Oh, Legita off her knuckles. Hits it out of play.
A little too much sauce on that one, but again, she's just trying to have some creativity in her attack.
Yeah, Coach Holzmeyer just said slow down, right? She's been so creative in the air, almost sped up a little too much there. Whitekettle does just that and tools the block. Back and forth here in the 3rd.
Wake trying to be less one-dimensional, right? Bring in your right side, have a different look against this Duke block.
Since Whitekettle's returned from a back injury here in the conference, she's been a nice tertiary piece.
And she's battled injuries her whole career. For her to just keep battling, and we talked about it coming back another year to cap it off.
And missed a whole year due to injury. And here's Olivia Murphy, the fourth and final senior, getting her first point.
Talk about someone who's also battled injury as well.
The redshirt junior will most likely end her career today medically, but putting on a little show here in the third set. Now Murphy with a tip, one of the senior veterans defensively. Duke having some trouble on this return. Zubcevic into Murphy's hands. Oh, who hit the net? Somebody did. Yeah, Wake hit the net, so Duke point.